Okay, hi guys, how are you? Okay, so for this project, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be doing flowers that are lush, beautiful, detailed, colorful. And the idea is that we want to prepare ourselves for an artist called Kahindi Wiley. So the project right now is to have all these beautiful flowers and a bird. We're not learning how to do the bird today. We're going to focus on the flowers and the vines um, and and different kinds of flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to do that. The other thing that I want us to understand is where the reason why we're doing this. So the idea for the assignment or the general big project that's going to be featured in the art show is that we will have a bird, a whole bunch of flowers, and then we'll have you. It could be a portrait, a self-portrait, or it can be a photograph of you with all these flowers. I'm going to go ahead and show you a few things from Kahindi Wiley just so you can get an idea why we're doing what we're doing. So one of the great things about Kahindi Wiley, who also, by the way, painted the portrait of President Obama, is that he features African American people, black people, people of color. For the most part, they are black people. And then he will put them in a way that's regal, meaning like royal, and showing importance of them and making them the center point. And then it is surrounded by all these beautiful, luscious flowers, or by kind of designs that look sort of like rugs and royalty. So here we have something that is a guy who's dressed very, like hip hop style, and he's riding a horse, and then in the background you can see all that, and it's repeating, right? The other thing is that he will redo masterpieces that have been done before. Here's another one, and unlike our project, right? So these are beautiful flowers. For the most part, they're about the same flower in two different colors here. And what he does is usually he repeats the flower pattern, and he'll just repeat that on and on and on. And so the background is not choosing. There's another one, the same flower being repeated. So, like I said, in the project that we are going to be doing, there goes another one. The project that we're going to be doing are two parts. And the first part is that you're going to be making a bird as the centerpiece, and then you're going to be making yourself as a centerpiece. And in the one that it is of the bird, you can see I have, by the way, 33 flowers, right? And for the one that is going to be the Kahindi Wiley one, it's going to be maximum 2 flowers, which means they're going to be the same size, the same colors. You could choose 2 colors because you may be 2 flowers, or 1 flower and repeating it all over. So the purpose for this is to show 2 different ideas that are kind of the same and share the same idea, and that have similarities, and also to practice flowers. So I can see over here that I have this flower that I love to do, and I have it in different colors, and then I have one with a whole bunch of petals that are kind of pointy, and these are kind of round. So the vines are also curved. So we're going to go ahead and start working on that, and I hope you can see what I am doing right here. So if for the purpose for you to be able to see, I'm going to have this with a marker. So the idea is that you want to have vines, and so you would be going a curve. Okay, let me see if you can see that. Hold on. A curve like this, and then a curve going like that, right? And that would make a vine. And then I need to leave space for the flower. So I'm going to go ahead and make another vine over here. I'm not making vines in the middle because that is where the bird will be, right? But I am definitely making vines around. These vines would also have little leaves. And I don't want us to use a dark green to color it. But I do want us to use I use like a medium light green, okay? And we're not outlining anything in so black because it is nature. So when you draw, you should draw with a pencil, and you should draw lightly and then outline it with a color pencil. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my first flower because I want you guys to kind of understand where I'm going with that. Okay, flowers can come in all different colors. So I'm gonna choose blue for the first one, and let's see if you could see what I'm doing. So I have one that I like to do that is sort of like wiggly see that? Wiggly kind of petal. And then I go ahead and I make the other one wiggly. And then the other one wiggly. And then this one curves the other way. Do you see that? You can see it, right? So that's one flower that I like to do. There's another flower that I like to do, which is I start, if you notice, I'm not putting it very close here because I want the petals to be big, is that I start with a circle and then I make a whole bunch of petals. And in between those petals, I'm adding another petal. And then again, in between those petals, I add more petals. So eventually what ends up happening is I have rows and rows of petals and the flower becomes bigger. Okay? And it looks really, I think it looks quite pretty. The other thing is, I messed up here, but the thing is that you want the petals to be relatively the same size. You don't want to make a huge one. You want them to be proportional, right? And I'm getting a little bit in the middle, so that's not what I want to do. Over here, I can connect it by making a tiny little addition to the vine, to the vine, and adding it there. Let's go for another kind of flower that we could possibly see. And I'm going to do with red again, just so you can see. So this one, if you notice, the petal is curved, right? And this one, it's not that dark, but that is like a curved petal, right? We can make one that's sort of like pointy, sort of slightly triangular, and that will look really cool too. So I'm going to go ahead and do one over here, right? So again, we are starting with a circle, and then this one ends up being a little longer and pointy. You guys see that? I hope you can see it. It's a little tricky to see it. Let's see if you can see it through this way. I want to just, it's a little tricky doing it this way. Let's see. Then I go ahead and make it pointy this way and pointy this way. Okay. You're seeing what I'm doing. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead in between, make another pointy one. And this one, it's the same concept as the other one, except that the petals look very pointy. It's almost like if you're making some sort of kind of star. And then it's over there, it's just like you're doing half. And you can go ahead and see how that looks. So you have 3 different kinds of flowers, and then it's a matter of choosing how exactly are you going to color it, right? You want to choose colors that are vibrant. So if I'm going to go back to here, what I did for this one over here is that I outlined it with an orange marker, and then inside I did it the color lightly purple, right? Over here, I did this one that is purple and turquoise. This is a different slightly flower. It's sort of the same concept as the pointy one, but this one is like a half. It's not using the whole bit. And you can see that I've used, let me just get closer, I've used sort of like a reddish color, right? And it's all about just making, this one is the same idea as the pointy one in that it's long, but it is curved long, right? So you just basically have to come up with different ideas how exactly you're going to make it. For this project, just so we're clear, I'm going to teach you how to do the bird later on, but how we think about this project is that we want the only animals to exist are the bird and a few bees. We did bees, as you know, in our insects in the jar project, so this is kind of pretty much easy. I have only 3. We don't want to take away from the bird, and we also want to express the beauty of the nature. So I'm also going ahead, besides after coloring this, the background is a solid dark green, but you can easily choose another color. You can choose something like a red. You can choose something like a yellow, but you want to choose a color that is contrasting to the actual color. So for instance, in this case, I'm using a whole bunch of colors, so I don't want to go ahead and use a color that is on my bird very visible. So you want to, if you're gonna color your bird, if you're gonna color your flowers and you're thinking, I want to use hot pink, Just giving you an example, right? Then you wouldn't want to color your flowers hot pink, right? Or if you want to use turquoise, then you wouldn't want to color all your flowers or any of the flowers turquoise. You don't want to take away from the background, and you don't want to take away from the subject, which are the flowers and the bird. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have an awesome one. Bye.